All right, again, we're going to talk about Unix command, some basic Unix command, and VI, the text editors, right, for Unix, right? And write an application with that, run and compile it. So I'm going to talk about using Unix command. I'm going to just simulating it using git bash. Like you can install the Unix, right? So to install that, I just show you, you have an option to install, use the cloud to create your instance. Now, like for example, if I want to connect to my server, right? The server that I just picked on the DigitalOcean is the Unix server, right? So what I need is, I just need to use the command to connect to it. CQ shell SSH, right? And then I need to put a username. Unix, the admin is root. Root is just like an admin user. So, and then followed by the IP. Alright, so I just connect to the Unix server. So I just connect to the server. And this is just like my operating system, Unix. Right here, right? Okay, so now if you in CMD, right? You have learned some command, right? In CMD, you said if I want to see the directory, list of directory and files, you do dir, stand for directory, right? So it's going to list all the directory and files, right? So comparing to if you use GUI like Windows, it's just like you click to see users, right? You go down to users, and then you go down to, let me click C again. And you go to, you see, it's kind of takes some time, right, to get to the location. But if you know the command, you just do dir, you get everything too, right? But it's just not easy to use, right? Because you have to remember the command. But in Unix, you're going to do ls. Let me just use the one that connect to ls. So it's going to list all the files and folder. If you do ls-l, it's going to give the details. Like the directory are the folder D in front. So these are the folder, the blue one. And dash are the files. Okay. Now, about Unix, you may see they have the username. Right, when you log in, it's going to create a user for you. If you log in as your username, like John, it's going to be John. And this is pretty much a machine name. Like machine that I show you, I just create the name for the machine. When I create it, it's now named Flynn-staging. Represent that machine, right? So like this is my local, you see username, and then my computer name, right? The name of the computer, right? All right, so now each directory, I mean each files and folder, once you create it, in Unix it's going to have permission. So permission, just like an access that allow you to access to the file or folders. Because now, if the one you, like if John create a folder, like now root, right? Root pretty much just like an admin, we have permission to access all the files and folders, right? But if you're John, then you probably have restricted to access another user files and folders, right? On the same machine. Okay. So when you look at the details here, right, they're going to have three groups. RWX stands for read, write, and execute at the user level. That's the first group. Second group is read, write, and execute at the group level. And last group is read, write, and execute at the world. World, that means for other. Like everyone can have access to that file and folder. According to this, RX, like for example, R stands for you have an access to this folder to read. R is read, but you cannot write because you only have permission to do read. Like everyone in the world can read this folder but cannot write. You cannot make changes, you cannot only read. You can execute. If you want to run a file, you can run in that folder, right? Same like this one for the group. You can create a like CSC200 student group, right? And you can just read and execute. But this is for the user. User pretty much the one who creates this is root, can read, write, and execute. Okay, now let's see if I want to make a directory, right? Make a directory mkdir, right? Step of make directory.
Are the commands the same as command prompt? Not any of them?
Some of them are the same, some are not. Like cd is the same. Now if I do ls, you see I I just create a folder named CSC200, right? So you can get to the details, right? So that's a permission, right? I could cd change directory to that folder.
Ooh.
Right. And now if I want to create a Java file, I do vi. Vi is text editors, remember?
Wait, what do you mean if you want to run a Java file you put in VI?
No, I want to create.
Oh, create a Java file.
Using text editor named vi, right? Or they have Vim. Vi, Vim. It's pretty much just yes, but Vim is more colorful, like easier to use, like Vim. Vi is an early day text editors, right, of Unix.
Oh, so
Vi like editors. Vim is one of the editors. Yeah.
So Vim's like 2.0 VI.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And Professor, like Python is that like similar to Java, or like any of those other like languages similar to Java, or are they completely different? Like, would you if you
Python is just another programming language.
like if you were to learn that, are they like do they have similarities between Java, or if you were to learn those, would it be like completely different like from the start?
Oh, you only learn one language to understand first, and the rest is easy.
Oh, okay.
It's just a syntax.
Okay.
The logic is the same.
Just like I'm hungry. In English, it's still the same as I'm hungry in French or German or Chinese. Right? The same thing. Okay. So we're going to do the J option pane, right? Okay. Demo. So now we open This is like your text editor, like Notepad thing, right?
Oh.
How do I do that? I just show you. Just write the vim the option pane demo.java followed by the file name. You just open the file, right?
God.
Now the problem is, if you try to type, you cannot type anything, because if you think about, it's not like Notepad, right? Notepad has the menu when you can do save and new, but this is completely no GUI, no graphic user interface.
So you have to like enter.
There is no such mouse that you can use. You only use keyboard, correct? To do all the command. So that's why this VI gonna have two modes, the command mode and the editor mode. And you have to use the key. Just like the shortcut for this is Control N, something like that, right? You just need to know all of them.
All of them?
Mm-hmm. The basic one is simple. If I want to change from command mode to the editor mode, I have to put either A or P. I stand for insert. So normally I use I. I say insert. See that?
Oh, yeah.
Now you can start to type. You see the cursor change. Now you can start to type public class J option pane demo, right? And now we can say public static void main string. Yeah, I would recommend you to use Vim because it's easier to use, and also with the color that we have. And then we're gonna say J option pane dot show message. It's pretty much the same now, just like when you do with Notepad, right? Dialog. No. Hello world, right? And you don't want to forget to import, right? This is not IntelliJ, you have to manually import it, right? Import javax dot swing dot j option pane, correct? Alright, so we done. We still in the editor mode, right? We have to go back to the command mode to save the file and exit from VI. So go back to the command mode, you hit escape and you see the mode is gone, right?
Wait, what do you hit?
Escape, ESC.
Oh, escape, okay.
Yeah, escape key. Now, you want to save the file.
So escape puts you back into command mode.
For the VI.
Save the file.
To save the file, you have to do shift colon. Shift colon just get into the
Save mode? Or
the command to save is write. The W stands for write.
okay.
And then enter. It's going to say written. It's like you save the file.
So you just
6
do,
lines of code has been written to this file, right?
So you just do W enter?
Shift colon,
W.
and then now I want to exit. Q, quit. W write, Q quit, enter. Now exit from Vim. Okay? So it's just like, what I just did is just like go to this and hit save. Alright? After save, I don't have to go to this because it's know that file, right?
Can you run it from there?
And then we closed like that. This is what I just did. Make sense? But from the command, right? Yes, you can run. If you have Java, but I'm not sure if I have Java. How do you know I have Java? Just type Java. Java C.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, I don't have Java installed. So what it's doing now is I need to compile and run. Okay, Can you give me 1 second? Hello? Yes? Okay, that's fine. Alright? Alright. You know who called my son?
Aw.
It's teacher day tomorrow.
Aw.
We don't allow him to play games during the school days.
Oh, okay. Was he calling to ask to play games? Oh.
At least he called to ask permission, right? Good thing. Because I had to take it because from my home I thought maybe something happens.
Yeah.
That's why I had to take it.
Did you tell him yes or no?
He said no.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to.
Yes, I allowed to.
Oh, you allowed him?
Yeah, tomorrow
Yes.
is teacher day, so
He's probably so happy.
he's off.
What kind of games does he like?
Did you play League of
Do
Legends?
you ever play games with him?
Yeah.
What kind of games do you like to test?
The Plant versus Zombie.
Oh, Plant vs. Zombie is so much fun. I remember playing as a kid on my iPad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, come back.
It gets challenging because you gotta think about it. So.
Now I don't have Java, right? So I need to install Java. It's just like you have purely Windows without Java JDK. Remember first day of class? Now, but you don't have the download Google download thing. You don't have it here. You don't have the Internet Explorer or Chrome here. Correct?
Yep.
Think about it. This is OS purely no interface. It's just keyboard and you, right? You just need to use a command. But luckily, it's say here, try to type app install, like you try to install application. And this is just the packages that you can do, like this JDK 9. You see that?
Yeah.
And this is JDK 8. See? And it's going to install for you. Let's say if I install JDK 8, okay? It's installing.
Ooh.
You just need the permission, yes. It's installing the Java now.
Damn.
No, it's downloading. You see that?
Damn.
It's
You
downloading.
just hacked into the whole system.
It makes like you look cool, right?
Yeah.
Right, looks so cool. It's installing. It's just like in the Matrix system, right? That you watch the movie, it's just like this, right? There's a
Where's
Unix.
the bank account? Transfer the money.
Okay, done.
I call the first 25 million.
So let's try Java C again. Now we get the Java. See that? Just like in, it's so much faster. You guys see it's faster, right?
Yeah, that was a lot faster.
Now you see it's more efficient, right?
Yeah.
But you just need to know the command.
Yeah. Once you
I'm telling you, I don't remember all the commands.
Hey, Professor.
I have to Google for the command because I don't use it every day. If you use it every day, you can just.
Do you remember like a couple years back when like the PlayStation Network got hacked? Like,
Okay.
Like how hard would that would you like how hard would that be? Like would you like how would you start something like that?
All right, so I just compile and now I'm going to run, right?
What? What? Into what?
Oh, by the way, the the problem is I try to run the graphic user interface, the option pane. And this one doesn't have that. I didn't start a GUI version, right? So that's why. But let's modify our code to be hello world then in the system, right? .out. So I have to go back to where? Vim,
No, it's a website.
right?
Everyone knows about that website.
So I just need to change this, right?
Tell them to minimize the page. Told you.
All right, so let's test. Now, I show you that you can do W and enter, Q and enter, but you can do both commands at the same time too, WQ. So it's going to write and quit, save and exit at the same time. And now you can do recompiling the file right? Error system.out.print. Oh, I happen to forget to remove null, right? Because we don't need that. So I need to get back in to delete this. Like again, I want you to go back and practice this. It's not required yet. Okay, it's not required for this, but I recommend you to try to do your program with this because in 2.5 you have to use this. And by looking at what I'm doing, if you try to do by yourself, it's gonna be a different story.
Yeah. So how do you like install
Hello world, right?
let's say, like, git bash thing?
Oh, you can use git bash right away because it's simulating the Unix already.
Oh yeah, I know you can use
Like,
you have like VI and all those commands and stuff.
yes, they have VI, yes.
Okay,
Like,
how do you get like Ubuntu to be inside of that? If that makes like, 'cause, like you.
oh, git bash is just git, so it has a Unix like command. But if you want to get Ubuntu, then you have to download the Ubuntu I showed you earlier, right?
We're
Yeah, I
gonna run it.
downloaded it and then like I put it in like a virtual machine, but I guess
Yeah, like Ubuntu here. Let's see which one you download. You have to download iOS, right?
I have like the graphics user interface.
Here we download that, right?
Yeah.
And then like it's free, so if you have money, spare your change. But not now, right? This site here contains malware.
Well,
You're running the original.
You can hit details and go to the front.
Viruses?
Yeah.
And you can visit the Untitled site and take it there.
just do it. Just go for it.
Hmm. So you said you download Ubuntu already, right? Did you get that also, Shay?
So
You-
I downloaded it, and then I thought we were supposed to load it into a virtual machine.
Right. You need to
Oh, that is what we're supposed to do?
download, and then you need to download virtual machine.
Okay, so we have to download this.
Let me make sure I can download this first.
How?
Okay. All right. So they want the ISO here, right? So let me put on our CSC200. Oh, I have one already. Last time I downloaded. Let me use that one then. Now you need to download the. You going to download what? The VirtualBox. If you don't want to, you could install your machine, but
You're gonna erase your.
you're going to erase your Windows. You don't want that. You paid for the license,
You
right?
can install it so that when you boot up,
Yeah, you could too. Or you can use VirtualBox like that.
yeah, you have a choice to pick between.
Right. You can partition your machine and do dual boot, right? That means you can select which OS you want to use.
And then you run Ubuntu inside of a virtual box.
Or just pick an old machine that you don't use. Put Unix on that, and it's gonna be fast.
We just have laptops to go.
Okay, even it's always still fast. Okay, with Unix. So now, after you get VirtualBox, then you can run it. Oracle VM VirtualBox. See that? So this is VirtualBox in the scenario that you have to download if you don't want to parallel running dual boot on your machine, right? Or if you're a Mac user, you can always get like the parallel, right? Parallel program.
So wait,
Parallel?
we download Ubuntu and VirtualBox and then run Ubuntu on VirtualBox?
Yes.
And for Mac it would be the same thing, correct?
No, Mac you get parallel.
You get parallels
We get parallels?
and run the.
Ubuntu?
But Mac you already have. Mac is Unix.
Yeah,
You can just go to search and type terminal, you get the same.
So I can use terminal?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, who's laughing now, huh?
still you.
Huh?
Still us laughing at you.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Mac is comparable.
Just for Windows.
Yeah, work for now.
What?
Wow, you're giving him bad information.
Yeah,
What a friend you are.
Oh, here she is. What are you doing, man? Nah, you're just saying that shit. Yeah,
Right, so this is a virtual box that I try to run.
How many subscribers do you have? How many subscribers do you have? What?
Alright, so now you see how you write program and run in Unix, right? Okay, so I'm not sure if my virtual box is going to run soon. It should not take that long, but okay, let me run again. They can show you how you put the ISO for the Ubuntu, right, or install on the VirtualBox. Alright, so now let's come to the question of, if I use Git, right, I can use Git bash too. Like, let me show you. Like, I'm going to create so let me show you some command first. Print working directory, right? pwd. And if I want to go to user I think I actually can go back to what I'm looking for is I want to create a folder Java and create a Java file again. So I'm looking for my, if I can go to this path, right? C user desktop CSC200, right? So let me see if I'm currently on the TKNC. So at desktop already. I want to see where I am, right? I want to go to your desktop. So if I do ls, let me do like this, cd users TKANC and desktop. Let me just type that first. No, because the path is not in there. Let me see. Yeah, because the file structure in Unix is different. Okay. Once you get the user account, you actually have, if I do ls, it's going to create this folder for you inside that account. Okay. So the file structure is absolutely different than the way that you used to with Windows. Right, Windows always have C user and you have desktop, downloads, music, and things like that, right? But in Unix, you can have bin, dev, like etc, cmd. Okay. So, yes.
So you said for Macs, we just run it on the regular terminal. So that must mean like the regular Mac commands would work on Unix, right?
Mm-hmm. So just like, yeah, if you are a Mac user, you see that the way they organize their file path is different too. They don't have like downloads, like C user, like username / down. It's different. Same Ubuntu is also have different file structures, right? So if you look at this, a file system is a logically collection of files, right, on the disk. Your hard drive can have various partitions. It's going to contain one file system under /file system or under home file system. And this file system allows for the logical maintenance and management of differing file systems. Unix is considered to be a file, including physical devices such as DVD, USB, and floppy disk. Everything Unix is considered to be a file. Like if you look at CD-ROM or DVD-ROM, it's a file, right? Floppy disk is a file, right? So directory structure, Unix use a hierarchical file system structure, much like an upside down tree. Like with a root, I told you like a root first, at the base of the file system and all other directories spreading from there. So Unix file system is a collection of files and directories that has the following properties. It has a root directory, right, that contains other files and directories. Like I said, when we see /, this is the root directory, right, which should contain only the directories needed at the top level of the file structure. Right, when I do this, I do pwd, it's going to say print working directory. Now under C user and tk-anc, right? If I do ls, then it's return all the folder and projects with that user, right? Like now, if I want to go to desktop, I could go to, right, change directory, and I have like several folder like CSC200, right?
Just the name of the folder.
Right. But first you need to know that when you do where you at, right? Where you at, like before I was in C user, right? Let me do pwd first, right? Now, since I do cd desktop, I get into desktop. I get into, right. But we were looking at this guy, right? But this guy telling you actually add a root. See that? That's root, right? All right, so now if you look at the directory description, like root has bin, right? Bin, this is where the executable files are located. Just like when we go to Java, C is under bin, right? And it's available to all users. And we have dep, device drivers. Dep is pretty much just, right, like device drivers. Like, yeah, your USB drive, your DVD-ROM, right? And we have etc supervisor directory commands, configuration files, disk configuration files, right? Valid user list, group, like all the configuration, Ethernet, host, where to send critical messages. So you can go back and take a look at it. So these are all the configuration files going here, right? Okay. Like if I do cat host, cat is pretty much just print out the configuration file. See that? And if I look at lib, contains shared library files and sometimes other kernel related files. So I can just go and take a look. We don't have lib here. And we have booting system, home directory for user and other accounts. We have MNT mount when you want to connect to the floppy disk, CD-ROM. Right, CD mount. We have procs, contains all the processes, right, as a file by process number. It's just like when you do look at what are the files that application running or services. Proc stands for process. Yeah.
Same structure as Windows. So Windows is based on Unix too.
Temp holds temporary files. User used for miscellaneous purpose, right? And can be used by many users, include admin, shared files, library files, and others. var contains variable length files, variables length files such as log, print files, and any other type of file that may contain a variable amount of data. sbin contains binary files, usually for system administration, like fdisk, ifconfig, utilities, and kernels contain kernel files. And these are just some of the basic commands, like show you cat. Like when I do cat, it's just print out the contents like license. So it's print out, right? Display contents of the file, right? Display a file, right? So I want you to just go back and try that. Okay, we're gonna talk about this more next time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to provide you this link. This link will teach you the basic Unix command on Blackboard, okay? And you can start to look at your 2.4 and using VI. Oh, using VI is 2.5. That's not now, but I think, yeah, 2.5, right? Next class. Do. Because today is supposed to be 2.4, right? Yeah. Okay. And try to like use that in your 2.4 first to prepare. And this 2.4 is just talk about string class. We talked about char add already. You just need to go through the Java doc and look at, try to test the rest on your own. Okay. And there's another class named string buffer. I want you to try that and compare what's the difference between string and string buffer. All right.